You just got whispered, bitch! Badass Negan moment, badass Father G moment, badass Maggie moment, badass Rosita moment, badass Leah moment. Such a good episode. And cliffhangers everywhere. Hot diggity dog! That was an amazing episode. I really was wondering how they were going to fit everything into this episode, given that it feels like we kind of need to wrap certain things up, certain storylines. And the answer, well, it surprised me. The answer they gave to wrapping up everything was that they're not going to do it, basically. This was like a mid-season finale, but it felt more like, you know, the penultimate episode. And I think episode 9 is going to be like the second part of this. And yeah, there was a cliffhanger, obviously a cliffhanger right at the end, but then all of our storylines right now are left on cliffhangers. What's going to happen with Eugene at the Commonwealth for obviously punching who we believe is Sebastian. Maybe he's not called Sebastian, but he's playing Sebastian from the comics. Either way, even if they call him Greg, he's still Sebastian. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen at Alexandria. We didn't even see what was going on with Aaron and Carol, which I'm sure we're going to see. All of those guys that went out of the house. We don't know what's going to happen with the guys inside of the house. I mean, are we going to lose some characters? I don't know. I really wish they would stop kind of seemingly setting up Aaron's death, obviously with his dream sequence when we actually saw him die. And then with Gracie saying, oh, can't someone else go instead of you, kind of thing. Like, oh, maybe he's made the decision that he's going to go out and he's going to die instead of, you know, someone else, because it's happened in the past. Oh, yeah, I really don't want that to happen, but I'm sure we are going to have some really big deaths. We, of course, did have a relatively big death as far as, you know, he was the main villain for the first half, or the first third, for God's sake. Pope. He was turning into... He's obviously said that they're the chosen ones, God chose them, but he seemed a little bit more, he was saying, oh, the Lord speaks through me. And by the way, I said none of that. I said none of that stuff to that guy. I don't even know him. Just a quick side note so that there's no misunderstanding. I don't think that I am God. I'm just called Lord Lugan, and he said Lord. The Lord speaks through him. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. And he seemed to be acting as if he was God, and God was working directly through him. He gets to choose who dies, he gets to choose who lives, and then of course he dies like just some guy. You know, he didn't have a very fantastical final boss kind of death. He gets stabbed in the neck. And yeah, he obviously gets stabbed in the back of the head as well, or the back of the neck, whatever, to properly finish him off. But he would have died from that one single blow if Leah had just left him. Like, he was just some guy who thought that he was God, basically. And at one point, Leah's saying, oh, he was my brother. About Wells, was it? Or I guess it was Wells. That sounds like a surname rather than Wills or whatever. He has an amazing fucking death right at the beginning. The opening again was so good. Like, we see the Whisperers, except there are guys, and Leah's obviously pretty affected by the fact that one of her other family members has just been killed. Pope's like, oh yeah, he was like a son to me, so you need to shut up and stop feeling bad about it. It's like, oh, thanks, Dad. I don't think he understands what he's saying, because that's not what you do to family. Like, you know, you don't just send them out just to make sure that the enemy is out there somewhere. And he keeps saying enemy, but what he really means is someone that he's fucked over and has made like his enemy. I don't know. And also his enemy, not their enemies, as if it's not their problem. Or he just doesn't give a shit about them enough to admit that he's bringing this upon them as well. It's always just his enemy, it's his problem. But he's dead now, and I thought it was so predictable that Leah was just going to, you know, change her mind, have a change of heart because of Pope going all mental, and then she'd just end up running off with Daryl. Thankfully, this didn't happen. It actually went a slightly different route, which I really quite like. We've got to see how it plays out, of course, because it pretty much happened right at the end. She kills Pope. Daryl kind of thinks that they're working together now, but it's really just a case of Leah replacing, as far as I can tell, replacing this leader that was obviously leading them down the wrong path and getting people killed unnecessarily. He'd obviously lost his way. He had led them to a certain point, and then he just got a bit too mental, I suppose. So she's killed him basically to replace him, not to run off with Daryl. She's now blamed Daryl for Pope's death, and so it is, again, the Reapers against their group. Daryl, by the way, looked like a little schoolboy telling his teacher they had done something wrong when he was deciding to tell her that that was his group down there with the zombies. And also Daryl actually had quite a charismatic line in this episode, which surprised the fuck out of me, when he says about the, oh, I'm not going to lick you thing to Pope, which I actually thought was funny, maybe, or an attempt at being funny. So maybe there's hope for me and Daryl's relationship yet. I just really loved the Whisperer aspect of this episode, because I thought the Whisperers were a great villain. Obviously, we actually saw a few members of the Whisperers in episode 5. And so they're still alive and well. And now our group is using the tactics of the last villainous group that they took down, to take on the next villainous group, which makes complete and utter sense to me, because why? If they had never ever used that tactic again in the future, it would have been so stupid. Like, it was obviously an effective tactic. It did quite a lot of damage to them, and they know that, and they know that they're against a group that obviously doesn't really have the numbers, but neither did they as far as actual proper fighters, healthy fighters go. So they got a whole load of new soldiers from the Walkers, and boosted their numbers up a little bit, and also threw these highly trained, skilled killers off their balance. Because, you know, if they went in a head-to-head fight, other than these characters, like our characters from Alexandria having the plot armor, that's the one, the Reapers would have fucked them up, because we saw them, you know, fuck them up, but they only killed the characters that we don't really care about. Yeah, in a head-to-head battle, they would have got their asses handed to them. But obviously, their Whisperer tactics definitely saved the day. Also, I love the fact that they used, well, Maggie, like, used the fact that that was her community previously, so she knew certain things about it, like how to obviously sneak in. Also, Father G going to get the sniper rifle. I'm guessing Maggie's community hid that at some point in case of emergency. I don't think, like, because she says to Father G, I think, oh, you remember where to go or something. So they've obviously planned this out beforehand. So she's given him, like, some kind of direction of where to go. It wasn't just a case of him randomly looking around and going, oh, I found a sniper rifle, unless I read into that wrong, I don't know. But yeah, he gets a badass moment shooting those people down, and, like, he really was happy to find that rifle. Obviously, the opening was just great. A nice, gory death that we get to see pretty much full on, ripping out his vocal cords and shit. That was great. And Just the fact that it was Negan and the Whisperers again, but our group, like, we're actually really rooting for the Whisperers right now. The minefield was just, like, it made total sense, and I love the fact that they are doubling down on the fact that this is a military group. So why wouldn't they have landmines? Because if it was Alexandria, this herd would have just rocked up. They might have had a few, like, spike defences like they've had in the past. But they would have been on the doors, smashing them, like, cracking the gate down within, you know, just a few seconds. Alexandria would have not really had too much of a defence against that kind of thing. But yeah, landmines, shit, that adds an extra little bit of peril. And Elijah gets hit by one of the, like, I don't know, shrapnel or something exploding from the mine. Negan, I think, also gets a little bit peppered with, again, shrapnel or whatever. So that's pretty cool, because they wouldn't have miraculously just got through that unscathed, I don't think. Rosita's moment, obviously she's leading, like, a certain group, which I really like. They're giving a lot more of a spotlight to Rosita, and I think she only really had that little fight scene with the zombies because the fans want to see more of her, but it was pretty much like a Rick 2.0 when it was the No Way Out episode, which was a pretty cool callback, and that's what it reminded me of anyway, with her standing out there on her own. And she has a fucking wicked weapon. I don't know what you call that. Spiked club thingy, but I'm sure it's got like a cooler name than that. And I know she had knuckle dusters as well. But she was literally punching zombies in the face. I mean, you can't get more badass than that. And I'm sure they will continue to give her more scenes, but we've got to start talking about big character deaths. Like, I don't know, Aaron, as I've said, I think they keep acting like they're setting something up, or a bit of foreshadowing there, which I really, I do want them to kill off some major characters, because it's the final season. But, I don't know, Father G, I think, is also a candidate. I don't really think Maggie or Negan or Daryl or Carol are really on the books. But I was quite tense in this episode. Maybe Rosita as well could potentially be. But I just think that all of these characters now, even if they're not like the absolute core characters, they would still leave a mark if they were to die right now. Which I just think they've got to kill some people off, and it's got to be done in a way that, I don't know, I think people are going to be pissed off and upset, which is what you want, really. You don't just want them to, I mean, Alden, he's a side character, but even he, like, if he was to die, yeah, that would be pretty upsetting. He's still quite a key player at this point. They've done a really good job of making a lot of their characters likeable, even if they've only been in, well, I mean, Alden's been in quite a few seasons now, which is crazy, just because there's so many of them. But in the grand scheme of things, he's not a big character at all. Father G, he's been there for, like, more than half of the series, which, again, is just mental when you think about Daryl and Carol from the first season, Maggie from the second, and so on. But yeah, these characters have a special place still, even if they've only been in, well, like a few seasons, because a few seasons is, you know, quite a lot. It doesn't feel like a lot, because it's been going on for 11 seasons now. Jeez. Yeah, obviously the cliffhanger at the end was really quite annoying. I feel like if this was like episode 7 and we just had to wait a week for the conclusion, it would have been all right. But it was the finale of the first third. Obviously not the finale, otherwise that would have been really shit. But it's just the fact that we have to wait months to see what happens next. It was such a good episode. I'm glad they didn't rush it. We obviously saw nothing from the Commonwealth. We found out nothing about Alden. The Reapers are not all dead, like, by a long shot. I don't know. Like, are they going to wrap this all up in the next episode? I don't know. Like, I like how unpredictable it is. I cannot say how the next episode is going to go. I was really hoping that the Commonwealth were going to turn up at the end of this one and save the day, but there's so much that we still got to see from them. And even the stuff that happened in this episode, we didn't actually see all of it. We didn't see the Aaron and Carol stuff, and I'm sure they're going to show us that, because I want to see that. I want to see what they're doing out there as well, because I feel like something must have gone wrong, because they obviously see a bit of the wall flying off. Carol, I believe, is sent to deal with that. So either she fails to deal with it or deals with that and gets caught up in something else, because there are more zombies at the house, and there's a lot of zombies at the house. Even after Rosita goes all kick-ass on them. So, yeah. Are any of those characters going to die? Connie, Kelly, Carol, Aaron. I don't really want to see any of them go. It'd be pretty sick, in a bad way, if Connie was to die, or I mean even Kelly, because they've just finally reunited. But I don't know, I'm so excited to see the next episode, but of course we've got to wait ages. So let me know what you thought of the cliffhanger. And it's not just exactly what happened at the end, because pretty much all of the storylines at the moment are on cliffhangers. Like, they didn't really wrap anything up. They killed off Pope. He was obviously the big bad guy, but he's just been replaced, pretty much. And, yeah, like, stories have not been wrapped up in a certain way. I just like the fact that it wasn't rushed. This is, I think my favourite episodes of the first half have been, like, episode 5, episode 7, and this episode is there as well. Wasn't rushed, which I think if they wrapped up a lot of these storylines, it would have definitely been rushed. I just want more and more and more, because every ending has felt like a cliffhanger to me. Even if it's not been a cliffhanger in any way, it's just made me really want to watch the next one. Get rid of this. So just having to wait, I don't know, like, is it February it comes out? Because that's the normal kind of thing, but then this one started earlier, so I just don't want to have to wait for too long. Please. Weeks have been feeling like a really long time in between these episodes, so months, ugh. But this episode I thought was really, really good again, and all of the episodes have been, jeez. As far as a quarter season, a third season goes, and we're not used to having third seasons, but like, this would be considered the first half in most seasons, but as a half season, shit, this has been intense. So much going on, and literally so much content that we can't even, like, wrap up any storylines in the mid-season finale. And are any of these storylines even going to be wrapped up in episode 9? I don't know. I can't even be certain of that, which really at this point you would think this is a 2-part episode, but no, maybe it'll be a 3-part episode. There's still a lot to go. And yeah, I keep trying to end this video and the review. I think I'll do it now. I don't really think I've left anything out too badly. Oh, also, smoking. This is just another reason why you shouldn't smoke. Okay, because that emo Reaper, if he wasn't so obsessed with smoking, he wouldn't have had that nice buddy relationship with Daryl, and he might not have got stabbed and thrown over the wall. He would have died some other way, but smoking kills people. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of this review. And what are you excited about in the future? I haven't watched the trailer yet for, like, what's to come, or episode 9 or whatever they decide to do. But I'm going to do, like, another episode wrapping up just this season overall, and also another one, a deeper review of, like, the Commonwealth story, and, like, a few comic book connections and so on like that, and just whatever I can think of, really, because there's still a lot to talk about, which is what these 8 episodes have given us. Really good stuff. Thank you for watching. Please catch me in my next video, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.